So it's been leaked. The GTA5 source code that was stolen back in 2022 is now going to be soon in the hands of the public, and Rockstar are undoubtedly going to be very mad. But in my opinion, I think this is justice just served. For all the shit Rockstar has put us, the customer, through with its terrible security, atrocious customer service, and lack of communication with the community at large, I'm surprised something like this didn't happen earlier. But besides the point that the game is so old to the point where I don't think it really matters anymore, I think the leaking of the source code to GTA5 is nothing but a good thing in my eyes. It will allow the game to be modified to a greater extent than ever before in the hands of people who know what they're doing, and I wanted to briefly go over some of the things that I personally look forward to in the future of PC GTA5 modding, thanks in part to the source code leak. So undoubtedly there will likely be bootleggers out there who will probably plagiarize some of the code that Rockstar have created for use in their own work, but as I just said, GTA 5 is such an old game, I think it's kind of outdated to use anything that GTA 5 had anyways, and any improvements on anything that you would steal would have to be done in the hands of anyone who actually knows what they're doing. So they may as well just make it from scratch. And moving on to that topic, I'd like to talk about some of the many good things that I think could come from the source code being leaked. But before we get to that, I just want to spread the message about Hyper Resupply, where you can get cheap money in-game for much cheaper than it costs through shark cards. They also do other stuff for GTA as well as Forza Horizon, with a high rating on Trustpilot for those who are anxious. Links in the description below. So Rockstar Games don't really have a good track record of upkeeping their old titles. There's the likes of GTA San Andreas for the PC with its frame rate and physics issues. GTA 4 has its fatal final mission being unbeatable thanks in part to an issue with multi-core rendering, which can only be fixed by playing the game at 15 frames a second? And don't get me started on trying to play GTA 3 on PC. GTA 5 also has its fair share of issues on PC, and I'm not talking about the rampant modder issue in online. No, I'm talking more specifically about the game as a whole, playing on modern PCs. Nowadays most mid-range PCs will run the game just fine, but modern PCs, like ones that have an RTX 4090 with the latest i9 processor and 64GB of RAM, can't really let the game engine take advantage of all the advanced hardware. So in the end, you don't really end up with much of a performance boost over a machine that costs like a fifth of the price. It's funny because I have two PCs in my house. I have a main PC which I do most of my gaming on, it's got the best hardware that you can buy, and then I have a PC downstairs in my living room which I use for watching YouTube, movies and playing casual games. That's got much more tame specifications, but would you believe me if I said that GTA 5 actually runs better on my living room PC, which has worse specs than my main PC, with higher settings and resolution? I am not kidding. What I am hoping for is for someone to write a sort of Vulkan renderer for GTA 5, or write some sort of program that will allow the game to run better than it normally does. I mean, the 5M mod for GTA 5 already sort of does that, but I want it better. I want 240 frames a second instead of, like 110 that we can get at best right now. And for those who don't know, Vulkan is a sort of replacement for DirectX. It's what games use to render the game. DirectX is the old thing and Vulkan is the new thing. It's pretty much as simple as that. It takes more advantage of your PC's resources, and in general it just makes games run way better for the same graphics settings and hardware. They actually already kinda did this for GTA 4, I can't remember what the program was called, I'll have something on the screen showing you, and it basically just allows you to run the game at a much higher frame rate with less stuttering. We need something like this for GTA 5, if it doesn't already exist. I bet it'll exist right now and people in the comments will be like, "It already exists, what are you talking about?" Anyways, on to the next thing. Now I know this is completely illegal and would never happen to any official extent, but because the source code has been leaked, it will now be soon possible to run GTA 5 on pretty much anything that's powerful enough, though I think a lot of people will be rather interested to see if the Nintendo Switch would be able to run it. I mean, it likely wouldn't run well, since the Switch is rather weak in comparison to modern consoles, but it would be theoretically possible thanks now that the people have the source code to be able to write an executable for GTA 5 on Nintendo Switch, Of course, the only people who would be able to play the game would be the owners of a hacked Switch, but I reckon at least some of you who are watching have at least wondered if the Switch could run GTA 5. I mean, if it was optimized and scaled back in the graphics, I reckon it could run pretty well on the Switch, as I think the Switch is about on par with the Xbox 360, maybe a bit slower, so I think it could work in theory. Hell, even if it didn't, it would be rather interesting to see it run on the device nonetheless. Remember back in 2016 and 2017 when people like me were making VR videos for GTA 5? Yeah, those were the days. Surfing the Chromobile. It certainly wasn't perfect, the performance sucked, there were loads of graphical issues, and the incorporation of the game to a VR device didn't work really that well. And if you think gameplay looks smooth here, you should see in the VR headset. It is absolutely atrocious. But for viewers, for your viewing pleasure, I think it looked pretty good on the recording. Let's try and take out some cops. Alright, there's a cop car. Crap. Oh god. I'm fighting with the controls. Whoa. I'm gonna have one of those San Andreas moments where I crash into something I can't see. But now with the source code out there, I reckon someone with the know-how and the passion for VR could do it. Like make a proper good port of GTA 5 for VR. I would love to see a proper attempt at porting the game to VR. Who's with me? So that's my thought on the subject anyways. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.